De l'invitation. Je dois commencer par vous dire que moi aussi, je suis un membre de la section d'Ottawa. I think this is the first time in a long time that the national president has addressed the Ottawa branch, and we're here in Ottawa. So I especially thank Bob for the invitation. It's important because we're at crossroads with the organization. I'll speak about 15 minutes. I've been given 20 minutes, and Linda is very adept at telling us, and she'll jump and dance and whatever if I go over. But I'll speak about 15 minutes, and then since you don't have the opportunity of asking the national president questions too often, I'll open up for questions. Now, the thing about asking questions is that some people stand up and speak for 5 minutes and then don't ask a question. So there's only 5 minutes, so if you could think of specific questions that you would like to ask, and in the 5 minutes I'll be able to respond to them. And I'll be staying here all morning, a coffee break. If you want to buy me coffee, I'll be in the back answering your questions if you have. Look at your branch. The Ottawa branch is by far the biggest branch in the country. It has over 30,000 members. It has a highly competent, just absolutely fantastic board of directors. It is very active and proactive, and sometimes being active and proactive causes me some problems, but that's another story. And there is no difficulty in recruiting volunteers for the board of directors. That's not the story across the country. We just finished a survey on the health of branches across the country, and many branches are in difficult situations for two main reasons. The main one is the difficulty in recruiting volunteers to come on the board of directors. And the other one is that in many areas there's a dwindling base of membership. The federal government or the Canadian forces have moved away, so therefore the recruitment of new members in those areas is very difficult. But it is critical that we keep our branches, and Bob mentioned moving forward. C'est très très important parce que les sections dans le regard sur le futur, les sections dans notre association du futur sont clés à notre succès. We have to deal with today's realities, and the realities change from day to day, but we must also think of the future. So the National Board of Directors initiated an exercise called Moving Forward. How many of you have read the documentation on the website? Not too many. I would challenge you to read the documentation about moving forward. What it does, it establishes or proposes some observations about the future, assumptions about the future, things that will be critical if we want to survive and thrive. Continuous attacks on our healthcare plan, continuous attack on our pension plans. These are important things. And the changing environment. Why aren't baby boomers volunteering? How can we adapt the needs of these people to our branches needs? So these are the type of things that are being proposed in the Moving Forward documents. Given these assumptions, if we all agree that these are the basic assumptions, and there's been quite a bit of consultation on this. The original document was sent to all the branches, and input was received from all the branches, and all of that input was put into the revised document that is now on our website. And we asked you, if you read Sage the last time in a little paragraph, inviting you to have input as to the future. Because if our association does not reflect the needs and the requirements of the members, we're a dead organization. So all of us that have worked in public service know that the exercises in the public service that have gone down the drain were those exercises that were from the top down. This exercise about our future is an attempt to get the organization's view from the bottom up. So if you do not contribute to this, and you have an opportunity to do so, then we might not hit the nail with the hammer. We have to be clear. What's going to happen with this is that at the AMM, our annual members meeting in about a month's time, we will be looking at this, and it will be the major theme of our meeting. And we will try to get a consensus as to where we're going. And immediately after the AMM, we will be doing our strategic planning based on the consensus of where we want to go in the future. So that's the process. We will have we have to develop a 3-year strategic plan that will get us to the future. Our annual members meeting is going to be a very positive one. Last year, many people that commented on the meeting said it was the best ever. I do hope that when people get out of the June AMM, they will say it's the best ever, because we need the participation of branches. There's always some difficulties, an organization our size with 178,000 members, and big branches and small branches and different needs and different requirements. There is always some difficulties. But we overcome these difficulties by working together, because our main aim in life is the protection of our benefits. We all agree with that. And we all agree that of the directions that we must take in order to protect our benefits. We have the potential, and this is what the moving forward message is. We have the potential. This organization has the potential of becoming one of the most, if not the most important seniors organization in the country. Just look around the room here. We have people from all trades in Canada, from all professions in Canada, from all ranks in Canada. We have people that are veterans from the RCMP and the Canadian Forces. We have former deputy ministers. We have secretaries. We have clerks. We have blue-collar workers. We have union activists. Not one organization in this country has that type of membership. And in my view, if we were to use 10% of the brains that we have in our organization, we would certainly be the most influential seniors organization. Many of you think about volunteering in the sense that it's going to take 15, 20 hours a week. I do, but and I do because I want to, not because I have to. But people think about volunteering that it is to spend hours and hours and hours a week on the organization. It is not. One of the documents talks about the new role of the branches, and one of the comments being made that if across the country, if 3 people were to volunteer 3 hours a week in each branch, we would be healthy across the country. Is that too much to ask or to look for? Apparently it is, because we are having difficulties. Tomorrow, I am going to North Bay, because this is a branch of about 1,000 people, and they are going to make a motion to disappear because they can't find volunteers to help. We have a national office that can do a lot of the administrative work. For those branches that say, well, we can't find a treasurer, and we don't have anyone for membership, and we don't have anyone for communication, the national office is in a position now to offer these services for the branches. They can take over the administrative burden of many branches. I would not dare suppose to ask this of the Ottawa branch, because they do have the quality volunteers for all of these positions. But some branches, simply don't. So the national office has recruited people that can help at the branch level. So I'm going there to recommend that the branch not disappear and offer these services. As long as we have one person who wants to be president, we can have that branch survive. That's what will give us breathing time to make the branch survive. The other aspect to all of this is that in the moving forward, branches will take an expanded role. It will not be significantly different from what the Ottawa branch is doing now. But the Ottawa branch is unique. There are 4 or 5 branches that are already at the future level because of the volunteers that they have, because of the people, the competence that they bring. But my responsibility and the board's responsibility is to look at the national perspective. And that's why decisions sometimes have that are national in scope may not please one or another branch. But the board, I assure you, when it makes a decision, it is with the intent of being the best decision for all the members across the country. I have 5 minutes. I will end there, and as promised, any questions that you would like to ask me, please use the microphone, and please ask a question. You're on.
I'm the
Oh, you're the person with.
No, I'm supposed to do what you're doing. Well, the one on the other side.
Okay, well, while you're thinking of question, let me update you on 3 issues, or 3 that we've been involved. Bill C-27 was a major campaign across the country. It has been successful in that we hear from the Liberal MPs that I've been meeting, and I've met an awful lot over the past year. We hear that the Bill C-27, and you all know what the Bill C-27 is about, has been, oh, there's another whistle, that the bill, it's dormant. But regardless of government, regardless of the color of the next government, you can rest assured that our fat cat pension will be threatened. And that's why we must, it's easy to just forget about this. And people ask me, why should I join? Well, it's like your home insurance, okay? You don't think about your home insurance until you have a fire or something disastrous in your home, or when you have to pay it every year. Same like your membership here. You don't think about the protection of your pension until there's an attack on it, and when each year you pay your membership dues. So it's your best insurance. Bill C-27. The other issue that I've been fighting hard for, and the board's been fighting hard for, is a senior strategy. And all the three parties are now supportive of a senior strategy. In the previous government, and I know because I was directly involved in the seniors file, I was the first person appointed as chair of the National Seniors Council, and we had a Minister of Seniors. Now, I wasn't appointed because of my political affiliation. I've never belonged to any parties, as all good public servants do when they're public servants. But the thing is that we had a minister responsible for seniors. When Trudeau came in, he didn't put the ministers responsible for senior. This was a motion on the Liberal Party's convention a few weeks ago. I don't know if it passed, but the other 2 parties are very much supportive of a minister of seniors. The other one is our public service health care appeal. I know I have 2 minutes to go, right? 2.5. The public service health care appeal is ongoing. We're now at the federal court. Yes, sir.
Hi, my name is Chris Ford. I'm on the board of directors of the Ottawa branch. Jean-Guy, I have a question for you concerning all the other organizations across the country that represent various groups of seniors, CART being one, the Apex Association of Retirees and so forth. To what extent do you see that we can collaborate with these other like-minded organizations to ensure that not only is our voice strong, but the collective voice of similar organizations speaks with power and strength to government?
You're right on. We are heading up an organization as we speak called the Coalition, the Canadian Coalition for Pension Income Security, which, retirement security. It's 19 organizations with over 5 million members. These are members are organization, are a retirees organization, veterans organization, unions. So we are already doing that. In terms of seniors, our organization is known for have taken in the past a very proactive role in establishing a coalition of seniors. We have to be careful because some of the seniors organization don't like our pension plan and are very much against it. So you have to find groups that focus on one issue. If they focus on different issues, you have different point of views. Give you an example, in Ontario we will have a federal election. You were all invited. We joined force with the Ontario Federation of Retired Teachers, or I think that's the title, to deal with specific seniors issues. And there was a town hall meeting last week in Toronto with Access here in Ottawa and Thunder Bay and others, and it was well received. So we are partnering with the different organizations. Am I permitted another question?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Lady over
Is this on? Eleanor Ryan, I'm a member. Two things. I attended that session with the retired teachers and your organization. Here in Ottawa, we were tied in through the technology that they have these days, which is marvelous. I was quite surprised at the low attendance. And to me, that showed, again, we're an aging population and less people volunteering and involved in those types of meetings. But my other question or voiced is promoting having a seniors minister. As soon as the cabinet was agreed to and there was no seniors minister, I started advocating for that. It was almost an insult to us that we did not have a minister for seniors. There was for the youth, which is great, and it was the Premier himself that was the Minister for Youth. Now there's a secretariat set up, and they're struggling to get organized because I'm on the fringe of that, working with the youth. But for seniors, we need our own voice. The Medical Association has just put out a survey, and it's asking for us to advocate and sign up, and I think we must do it as quickly as possible. Thank you.
Okay, I'll finish with this. First of all, when the Liberal Party or the Liberal government was established, and then we got the list of ministers, and I noticed there wasn't any minister or minister for seniors. As former head of the National Seniors Council, not as president of this association, but as former head of the National Seniors Council, I wrote to the Prime Minister saying, we're really concerned about not having a minister responsible for seniors. Would you please assure seniors in Canada that if you don't have a minister for seniors, that the seniors file is being looked at and considered? Not even received an acknowledgement. Not even an answer, but not an acknowledgement of the letter. I wrote 2 months after, would attach copy of the letter I sent, not even an acknowledgement. 2 months after that, I sent the same thing, saying, at least acknowledge that I sent you a note, not even an acknowledgement. This is, and in all the meetings that I've had with the Liberal MPs, and I've had a lot of meetings with MPs over the past 3-4 months, I mentioned this, and what I get is red face. We asked to see the Minister of National Defense. We got a letter saying, too busy. It's not the words they use, but that's what they say. It is absolutely essential. We have taken the lead with veterans issues. The recent summit that you probably read about. And I've asked us to meet with the Minister of Veterans Affairs. And in fact, his special assistant was at the Veterans Summit, and I said, you know, your minister is not even answering. I said, oh, we'll take care of it. I sent a follow-up email 2 weeks ago, not even an answer. We asked to meet with the President of the Treasury Board. All of the staff at Treasury Board want us to meet with the President of the Treasury Board. The President of the Treasury Board is not wanting to see me. So, what is the message? I'm not allowed any more time, right? Okay. So, thank you very much.